Hey guys, welcome to Steele Wars. I'm comedian Steele Saunders and I do love Star Wars, and each week we talk to someone of interest about it. And this week, to celebrate 20 years of The Phantom Menace, we are going to talk The Phantom Menace and watch along, which you can use as a commentary, or we're going to do it in a way that you can just listen. You've seen the movie. You'll be able to hear stuff in the background. You'll be able to follow along. And we're going to be sort of telling stories as well as watching the movie. But welcome, my good friend. You know him for his stories, his Corey stories. Welcome back, Corey Van Dyke. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy. Glad to be back. It's always fun doing this stuff with you. We had quite the adventure at Celebration, so
We always have adventures. We
yes,
always
we
have
do.
adventures. And now we're going to have a Skype adventure.
Yeah.
So we're going to watch, if people do want to tee it up, which it's the iTunes version
Yes.
of
Yep.
The Phantom Menace, which I assume is the same as the Blu-ray version
Yeah.
and any other digital platform. This is the one. So we have got it set up to 0,
Yes.
and we will press play on a sync. Is there anything else we need to get it out of the way before we get going on this, Corey?
No, I think we should just dive into it.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
So I just have to work out where my play button is. All right, are you ready,
So,
Corey?
You want to do like 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, I'll do the count. We'll go 3, 2, 1, press play.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm very nervous, Corey. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to point out.
Yeah.
That there'll be a YouTube version of this as well. That was the
Oh,
other
yeah.
thing. Yes, so you can watch it on YouTube,
Can visually see us.
visually see us, and
Yeah.
there might be other visual guides as well. So check that
Oh.
out at youtube.com/Steele Wars. All right, so we've
Sweet.
got everything out of the way, Corey. I knew there was. See, that's why I said,
There's
is there
always
anything
something.
else we've got to get out of the way? There was something
Yeah.
that was in the back of my head. Okay,
Yeah.
on the 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, Corey.
Is that today?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Oh, that makes sense. Gotcha. I was wondering why Phantom. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Perfect sizzle for everyone to stick with us over the next couple of hours. All right,
That's
so
great.
this is not the countdown, but this is how we'll do it. We'll go 3, 2, 1, play. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the countdown. 3, 2, 1, play. All right.
All right.
Lucasfilm
Cool.
logo. You got
Yes.
one, Corey? You got
Yes,
one?
I do. I do. With the what theme is this? Is the Yavin theme?
Yeah, I
No.
don't know what that
I
is.
don't know. It's like a weird chop of them all.
Do you remember the old Lucasfilm, just the green text?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, nice.
Hmm.
All right, so the Phantom Menace. Let's. I'm gonna have to turn down the sound of my iTunes. It's a little bit loud. I'm screaming over it.
Let me know if you hear any from my end.
Nah, you're fine.
Okay.
Or if I can, because we're synced up perfectly, I won't be able to tell.
All right. Let me turn it down just in case. All right.
But how old were you in the Phantom Menace?
5 months old.
5 months old.
Yeah. No, it's funny because when a couple years back, somebody had asked me on a podcast, "How old were you when the Phantom Menace toys came out? Like, you must have been excited." I'm like, dude, I was learning how to crawl at that point. Like, I was not there.
If you're
But,
learning how to crawl at 5 months old, that's you're pretty advanced, Corey.
That's true. I guess I wasn't even doing that yet, huh? Wow, that makes that even weirder. But my buddy Noah Outlaw, he just posted on Twitter not so long ago that he wasn't even born. So
That's just freaky. I don't know why he was in that bar all those times at Star Wars Celebration. We're going to have to do something about that, I think.
true.
But I was in my... I just moved out of home.
Okay.
No, I hadn't moved out of home as yet. But I worked for a skateboard shop and that I managed. And
Nice.
this was a huge... Just such a huge deal. We all had a big dinner beforehand
Mm-hmm.
because we were going to the midnight screening.
Right.
And I was sitting at the head of the table. It was like 20 people, and normally, do you know what I mean? If we're
Yeah.
out for dinner, I'm pretty loud. You know how it goes,
Sure.
Corey.
I do.
And I didn't even realize, but for like half an hour, I was just in stasis, just stunned. I was so nervous.
Yeah,
it was like
sure.
so like important, and I was just like, and then someone just looked at me and goes, Steele hasn't moved or said anything for like half an hour. I was
That's
like,
great.
I was freaking out. But
Oh, I bet.
I remember this, just the hooded Jedi coming out to TC-14 and just being in the cinema and just like going, the Jedi, yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I can imagine the hype for this movie was unreal.
Yeah, I saw it down in Rosebud where I grew up, and the cinema was just like jam packed. Like I think, yeah. Then they had people in other cinemas as well, which for a small town was and it was just like they let people in like an hour and a half early, so it was like a big like sort of town reunion because there was so many people you went to school with and stuff, and it was festive. Like in my memory, there wasn't, but in my memory, there was like beach balls getting like tossed around and stuff like that. There wasn't, but when I play it back in my head, that's what's
That's
up.
how you envision it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw this movie after I saw the original trilogy, and
you kept it OG.
I did.
You're
I saw.
You're a true fan, Corey.
Right? So I remember watching it, and I remember watching it. I don't remember how I felt about it. I'm sure I loved it, because I watched it when I was like 7. But I don't know. I don't remember. I remember Darth Maul and loving Darth Maul. But that's about all I remember of watching it for the first time.
Yeah, my reaction afterwards was, I remember being just stunned. Like I was at a party afterwards, and it was about 4 a.m, and I remember just leaning against the wall, going to someone, going, "Yeah, it was full on. I liked it. Like it's it was so." Like, you just thought seeing all this new footage, like a new story, was just impossible.
Sure.
Because I believe George Lucas when he lies to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he says no more,
Yeah.
I'm like, why would George Lucas lie?
Right. Yeah. It makes them money, so why lie? Exactly.
Yeah. And lies about... that's my favorite lie. That's why I'm hopeful there's going to be a Star Wars Episode 10.
Yeah.
Because my favorite lie is the third time I've been told it is... There's no more Skywalker films.
Right.
There is.
Oh, yeah. So basically, this was your Clone Wars saved. Phantom Menace happening. Never thought it happened.
It was... But I didn't have that moment. I just sort of heard it on TV or something like that. It was...
Yeah.
But it was... And it was so far away. I felt like we found out about...
Yeah, when was it announced?
I felt like it was like 4 or 5 years. Oh, yeah, because they did the Star Wars special editions.
Right.
And we knew that the prequels were coming before they were announced.
Wow.
So, or not when they were announced, but when we were going to see the special editions, we knew there was going to be the prequels.
Gotcha.
So it just felt like a lifetime away. Like if it was 3 or 4 years, but and so they've just busted out some lightsabers here, and I remember just that first time, like just a relief, like a release of just yes.
Yeah.
it's like I'm so glad, because in all the other films it takes so long for a lightsaber to get ignited.
Right, that's true.
And it's just like, oh, they're just giving it to us. Thank you.
That's right off the bat. That's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah.
And the whole sticking the lightsaber into the wall that Qui-Gon does. Like,
yeah.
I just never imagined using a lightsaber like that. So
right.
I just like, oh my god, new lightsaber. It was sort of like for The Force Awakens, the Kylo Ren bolt grab. It was like, this is this new thing that I guess should have been pretty obvious.
Right. Yeah, it's a very sick move. I think they really used a lot of that throughout the prequels. But this is the one moment I always find funny when Obi-Wan, oh, yeah, when they do the Force run like that, and you never see that ever again.
Yeah.
It was like the only time.
Even debatably, people think that he could have used it at the end of the film.
That's true.
But then, you can sort of then say, oh, but the shield thing, he wouldn't have been able to stop, and they can't.
Right.
They're not that. So you can sort of Star Wars your way out of that.
Yeah.
But I always thought the speed running was. I think even on the first night when they did the speed running, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It seemed a bit superhero-y.
Yeah, it's a little flash going on
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Right. Yeah, I actually never noticed that until a couple years ago.
This how Queen Amidala beams in, waves in. That's like a callback to the old Flash Gordon serials.
Right.
And I even, the first time seeing that, and that she was in a round screen.
Yeah.
I remember being in the cinema and thinking, why would you build a round screen? It's a waste of space. It's just a bad format for video.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine in when they invented TV. Because after things are invented, people just go with it.
Sure.
But imagine if they made the first TV was a circle. And so all TVs, and then everything filmed for TV and cameras, that it'd all be circle.
Yeah, that would be I don't see the point in how that would work out too well.
And in that alternate universe, where they're now recording, and in the Phantom Menace, the screen's square or rectangle, and I'm going, why wouldn't you make it circle?
Oh wow, was that all opening night thoughts? Wow. Oh, Panaka.
Captain Panaka.
Oh, I felt so bad for mid-celebration. He wasn't at the panel.
Ah, yeah. C.O. Bibble. He's such a bummer.
He is.
He's not someone you want to go party with.
No, he's constantly
He would have
bitching.
the worst come down. The worst hangovers.
Yeah.
Just every conclusion is just the worst possible thing.
Oh yeah, was this the last time we see him, or?
Nah,
Yeah,
he's in
right?
it all the
No?
way through.
Oh, interesting. I don't remember.
All right, so we've got a bit of a Trade Federation invasion going on here.
Yeah. It's cool. I like the design.
Now, we're about to see the stat droids come out on the bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how caught up in action figure lore you are,
Yeah, I got it. I got that.
but
The preview figure.
yeah, it came in
Yeah.
the box, and you could make him sort of pump it up and down.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I remember seeing that in Toys R Us and just gasping with happiness and just staring at the back and
Yeah.
just give me more information.
Was it just that they came? I know they had a Mace Windu, but was that on the same day? Or was the Mace Windu like a mail away or something?
I feel like the Mace Windu was a mail away, but I think maybe in Australia you could buy it from Toys R Us. Or if you bought 4 figures, you got it.
Gotcha.
Because they do all that stuff different territories. I'm just,
Right.
just having a glass of wine, Corey, in honor of the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary, buddy. Here's to you.
Thank you. Here's my water.
Well, considering how old you were when the Phantom Menace came out, you got a couple months.
Yeah.
So, as a kid, Corey, what did you make of this Jar Jar Binks who's just appeared on screen and is talking to Qui-Gon Jinn?
I don't ever remember having any issues with Jar Jar. I don't think I was ever annoyed or anything. I was just like, cool. Because I remember when I was 4, my cousin had a Jar Jar, like bath toy.
I just do have to say that effect of them cutting the stap up, and then it's sort of they show the wreckage, and it seems like that's practical wreckage that they. I just love that transition. I always
That is very cool.
always love that special effect Because at the end, it seems so much more realer than the CGI.
For sure. For
But
sure.
continue, Corey. Sorry, buddy.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so it was a Jar Jar bath toy. I remember my sister was really into that for some reason. She really liked it, and I remember she stole it from him. And like we were back at the house, and she showed it to me, and I just found it so mesmerizing. And then I forgot about it. And then when I saw Jar Jar here, I'm like, holy crap, it's the freaking bath toy. So that's my Jar Jar story.
Just looking at him, it just. I feel like I'm in the late 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the animation or the CGI is not quite there, but yeah, it is. It feels like it. Have you seen that movie Dinosaur?
No.
You put him in there, it would be fine. It would be fine. What'd you think of Jar Jar when you first saw him?
I just thought he was a bit much.
Yeah.
Like, there's just the... He just needed to be toned back like 10%.
Right.
To suit my taste. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed.
And, you know, we'll talk about it later on with the Jar Jar action. And it's weird that the Phantom edit that I'm such a big fan of.
Yeah.
It taught me, or it sort of exposed to me how much of these movies I really liked.
Okay.
Because if you just adjusted like a few minutes of it, I watch it and I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Okay.
So it's sort of like it's a interesting lesson just to focus on the things you like about something, and it's pretty good. So yeah, like watching the Phantom edit of Attack the Clones and the Phantom Menace, I sort of went, oh, I really like watching it. Like it's just I have like no real qualms than that. Do you know what I mean? Even though in Attack of the Clones they cut out the sand bit, and I now love the sand bit. It's like my favorite.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
It's just brought so much joy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen those cuts, those edits before.
Yeah.
I should.
Well, when you watch them, I feel like you don't even notice they're there.
Yeah.
And you sort of like, if you hadn't watched like the Phantom Menace for 10 years and you put it on, you wouldn't even know it's an edit. You just go, oh god, that's, that was great. I don't know. I'm not sure what everyone was going on about. So it's just like that. And it's just to my taste. And I guess
is Jar Jar in it?
Oh yeah, he's in it tons.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He just doesn't finish every scene. Like,
gotcha, that makes sense.
Because like one of the sort of lead things in how Mike did the Phantom edit was he has the last word in so many scenes, and it pops the seriousness of that scene. Like they're like, there's these really grave things happening, and at the end, Jar Jar's sort of like, mana 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 ma.
Right. Okay, so that's good. I feel like I agree. He's overdone a little bit throughout the films. What'd you think about Boss Nass? That's his name, right? Boss Nass?
Boss Nass. I could never... Why does he look so different to everyone else?
Oh, Gungan-wise, yeah. I don't know.
Is it sort of like a queen bee where the leader gets born quite differently?
So like if they're green, they can rule or something?
Yeah, they're like a slightly different... They're just born a leader.
Green and obese, that's what does it.
Hey, did you ever consider rocking the Jedi little Padawan braid thing at the back there?
No. No, it's never crossed my mind.
One of the weirdest things ever. Star Wars just follows me around to the point that I was on vacation in London, out the front of the Queen's Palace, Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
And there was just a dude about 20 years old, randomly dressed as a Padawan.
Okay.
And he had a braid and he had the robes on, and he didn't speak very good English. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome outfit, man. Why, like, what are you doing? And we couldn't have a conversation about why he was dressed as a Padawan. But it was just but he had the braid and he was killing it.
Wow. Was this like recent?
like 3 years ago.
Okay. Have you ever considered rocking that hairstyle?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. I like the we're about to they're leaving Utaganga,
Yeah.
and I guess the one sort of thing I remember triggering me on opening night was when Boss Nass said the life debt, because we'd heard all about the life debt with Chewbacca and the Wookiees.
Okay. Right.
So they were sort of bringing up, they were dropping a bit of, that was a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
That was a little nod.
Interesting. Yeah. What'd you think about this sequence here?
Not a fan.
Yeah.
So we're watching what was that fish called?
Oh man.
The red fish is currently
I remember it
chasing them.
because I remember it because of the toy.
Yeah, he had a very out of scale toy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the bigger fish thing. Because
Yeah.
I think don't they do it like 3 times?
They do. Oh, the Opie.
Opie, yes.
Opie sea killer, and then there's the Kalo clawfish.
Isn't that what Dryden Voss eats
Yes.
in Solo? So
the
that big lizard thing.
that big thing. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
that's sweet. The world building. It's all connected.
All
Okay.
based on the fish.
So we've got Darth Sidious here talking to the
Yeah.
Neimoidians. Did you always know that the Emperor was Palpatine, or the governor or whatever he was, the delegate?
No, but I do have a funny story about that.
Hit me.
All right, it's so a couple months ago we did these like reaction videos with our friend seeing Star Wars for the first time, and another buddy of mine was there for it. And I don't know if you realized she hadn't seen him or what it was, but there was one of these shots in Attack of the Clones where you see Palpatine. He's like, "Oh, there's Darth Sidious," and I'm like, "Oh." And I just look at her. I look at her, and she put it together, and I'm like, she's like, "Yeah, I didn't." She's like, "That was kind of obvious," but I'm like, "Dang."
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. It's pretty funny though.
Because that would have been so good to see her, like, natural reaction of finding out. Because I love all those, like, thinking of all those things that if you watch the movies in order,
Yeah.
how weird that would be. Because that's like, if you watch them in order, maybe. Oh no, she didn't watch them in order though. Did she watch them in order, or did she watch them in?
No, we did a weird order.
Oh, okay. But if you watch them episode 1 to 6,
Yeah.
and so you watch the first 2 movies, and you're like, oh, Anakin Skywalker, we're following his life, hero of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then in Revenge of the Sith, he turns bad into this new character, Darth Vader.
Right.
You'd be devastated.
I had thought about doing that order, but she already knew that Anakin was Vader. Because
okay.
originally I was gonna do that.
But don't you think, like, watching it with no other knowledge, like that?
Yeah.
Because people going on about Emilia Clarke's character in Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's like a similar thing, that they've followed this character, and there's hints Anakin was a bit out there, and apparently I'm not a big Game of Thrones person, but there was hints that she was a bit insane. It's in her family, whatever.
There definitely was. Yeah.
But yeah, I could see why fans would be really gutted. And like, likewise, if you're like an Anakin Skywalker person,
Yeah.
and you're like, what? You killed the little younglings.
Killed the kids. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interested to see somebody who watched it in that order. I don't think I've ever like heard of anybody who didn't know Anakin was Vader, because that could be.
I've got a specimen. I've got someone we can do it to.
Really?
Yeah, it'll take a couple years, right?
Okay.
But I've got this child.
Ah, yeah, right. Of course.
I couldn't do it to him. That'd be so painful. I could just imagine him crying. Oh.
Yeah. Put him through the Clone Wars too and everything before you get to Revenge of the Sith. That'll really.
Oh my god. Oh.
By season 3, he'll be like, "Where's Vader? What's happening? Like, what are you doing?"
Okay, so this queen,
Yes, sir.
she's
Take them to Camp 4. Roger, roger.
I'm blanking on her name.
The actress,
Yeah,
Keira Knightley.
yeah, that's the Keira
Yeah.
Knightley, And there's Natalie Portman. I've
Right.
solved the movie.
Did you get that right away? Like when you saw it initially?
I don't think I got that there were decoys. Oh no, I did get there was decoys once they take off in the ship.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
like when I first watched the movie, that was one thing I realized, that I didn't know when it was her and when it wasn't her. But then when you watch it a second time, you can sort of, because the toys, I worked it out through the toys.
Gotcha.
Because I was like, oh, there's 2 Natalie Portman figures and they got different names. They're the
That
same
was,
character.
yeah, that was the exciting part of my friend not knowing anything about Phantom Menace. Is the whole movie she was trying to figure it out, and we were just like staying quiet. But she was like, "Wait, are they? What's going on?" So that was kind of the biggest thing about the movie until the end. But I think I was even surprised by that when I saw it, if I remember correctly. I don't think I put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, and this is like Keira Knightley when not famous at all.
No, I don't. This is like one of her first roles, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if she was in. I don't think Bend It. Maybe Bend It Like Beckham had came out. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's like 14 or something here.
But my place is with my people.
It's crazy. Did you hear about the Natalie Portman, Keira Knightley feud?
No.
No? Oh crap! Yeah. So, Keira Knightley said in an interview that like Natalie Portman used to bully her on set and stuff. And
Really?
yeah, and she felt very uncomfortable throughout the whole thing because of that.
By the choice reserves
Ah,
great
and
danger.
Yeah.
has Natalie Portman come back?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, now that I'm watching, now you've ruined the rest of the movie for me. I'm just like, oh, there's such tension. Now
Yep.
look at Natalie Portman's face. She looks like, oh my God. I thought she was just acting like a concerned handmaiden.
Nah, she hates her.
Man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now,
Dudes.
one thing the Phantom Edit does that I wish that they had done was not have the battle droids talk like this.
Yeah.
Like,
How do they talk in?
they just don't
Red?
talk.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like, and again, like for kids, like love all that. Like Roger Roger, like,
Yeah.
were you a fan of Roger Roger?
I probably.
Like, so
I
I
don't-
sort
can't
of,
remember.
with that, like, mind's eye of, like, well, a 10-year-old kid probably loves all the banter and, you know, how, like, the whole... Sometimes they're a bit too real world. Like, you're under arrest. Like, it's
Yeah.
a bit like a campy cop show sort of thing.
Right.
But, you know, I'm sure a 10-year-old kid, or a majority of them, loved him.
Yeah. And they really made the voices worse in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So-
And then we just got introduced to R2D2. For those
Yep.
listening to the podcast, we've just taken off, and Rick Ole has started announcing every development in the plot for us.
Yeah. So what'd you think of him? Because he was a big action figure that everybody talked about, right?
Yeah, he was in the original. I don't know. He was just. I think I was just yearning for more Rick Ole. Like, he'd been hyped up so much just through having a figure that I
Yeah.
was like, when's Rick Ole gonna contribute more to this?
Right.
Like, when's it Rick's time to shine?
They can't get the shield generator
Right.
fixed, we'll be sitting ducks.
So it was kind of like. Now I was gonna compare him to Zuvio, but that's not even remotely close.
No.
So did you know at the time this was R2? Was
Oh,
that, like,
yeah,
promoted?
yeah.
Okay.
Like in the cinema on opening night, like there was massive cheers because
Yeah.
it was like this was our intro. Everyone knew it was like, oh my God, it was R2D2. And I remember being thrilled about how they could magnetize onto the side of the Nemoidian starship, because that was like a new power. Like, we never knew that droids could do that.
Right.
And I remember when they came out, I'm like, oh my God, they magnetized the ship. And that ship,
It's very nice.
Like
They had a
that-
toy of that too.
I had it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was giant. It was, God, I miss giant toys like that. Not that I guess they just had the sail barge, so I got to take that back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of going to retail, you won't find that anymore.
But yeah, that Starship, the Hasbro toy, was just thank you.
Yeah.
It was like thank you for this toy. It was
It looked
very
cool.
sweet. I like how the hologram sits down on a seat.
Right.
It's so sick.
What'd you think about New Gunray and all of them?
I liked them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's been, you know, it's like, of course, that sort of accusation that it's like a racial stereotype and stuff. But for me, watching it, that didn't sort of pop up in my head. And I love the way how it's like one of those things that's probably George Lucas, or maybe he wanted it like this or not, but I like how their mouths don't move perfectly with what they're saying. Like it adds like this weird, goofy sci-fi vibe about it.
Yeah, it does.
This, when they read out the, so this is when they're awarding R2-D2 with a good job, and the Queen, who's not really the Queen.
Thank you, R2.
There we go. When Panaka said that, massive cheer in the cinema.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was so good. So I have to tell you about
Best you can. It deserves our gratitude.
on opening night,
Continue. Captain.
I bought an extra ticket,
Okay.
and I bought it for something special. And so we went to the pub, and for that dinner where I couldn't speak. And then we went to the cinema about 3 hours early, and everyone's there, and I was like, all right, I just got to go home and grab something. And I had one of those full-sized latex elusive original Yodas.
Okay.
So it's like a latex
Like the life-size one?
Yeah,
Or like-
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, three-dimensional, all sides, like
Yeah.
real hair and stuff. I
Yeah.
had one of those. I've still got it, but he's a little bit falling apart because of the latex.
Yeah.
But I bought him a seat, and so I brought him in just because people have got
Yeah.
costumes and stuff, and I'm like, I'll bring Yoda.
Bring
That'd be
Yoda.
funny.
That's way better. Yeah.
And I walk down with my Yoda, and my friend Tim stands up and just points and goes, "There's Yoda!" And everyone in the cinema applauded.
Awesome. Dang.
It was so cool. And then we put him in his seat, and like people coming up and getting photos with him, and all little kids are freaking out. And
Yeah.
And the weird thing is that when I was up, like seats up, talking to someone, like someone that I knew, looking back, you could see the back of Yoda's head, and it just looked like Yoda was in the cinema. You just see the silhouette. It
Yeah.
was so cool. What do you
probably
think?
made it-
What do you think about the hyperdrive, Corey? It was always weird. There was like, that's what a hyperdrive looks like. This weird
Right. This,
wafer.
like, block thing. Yeah. You know, thought it'd be smaller.
Oh, really? I thought it'd be bigger.
Really? Oh no. I just figured that with the technology they have, why couldn't it be small?
All right, so they're about to set off to Tatooine. They've
Yeah.
ditched Obi-Wan Kenobi for
They have.
plot purposes.
I never got that. How they just left them. But guess that's the budget.
It wasn't it was for the plot.
Oh, the
Okay.
plot.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The budget was fine. Don't worry about that. Now, does Qui-Gon know that's the Queen at this point?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. He's kind of makes that comment in a little bit about the Queen. I don't know if he would. Well, but he's always supposed to be known to be like the guy who doesn't really give a crap.
Yeah,
Like, he'll say whatever.
I'm not sure if he knows, but he doesn't want her to know he knows.
Right.
Now, just then, they're walking into Mos Espa,
Yeah.
and Jar Jar steps on a piece of bantha poodoo or something. I could live without that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
I'm
agree.
also now just like, I can also just ignore that 3 seconds.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's cut out of the edit.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
All right.
Watto.
Let's give it up for Watto's little pot belly.
Yeah, right.
It is like out of like the cute things, like the cute creature pieces, like Yoda's tuckus, I love.
Uh-huh.
You know when Yoda's like crawling through looking for the torch
Yeah.
in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Wicket's hands. It's another
Uh-huh.
really cute, Star Wars creature part. But Watto's tubby little belly.
I like
love it.
that. Like the action figure has it to the all the detail. He's got the stomach and everything.
And I like they based Watto's wings on a bumblebee. Because apparently, scientifically, a bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly.
Okay.
Like, they can't work out how... Like, when they analyze the... I think it's a bumblebee. When they analyze how it all works, the physics of it, like theoretically, they shouldn't be able to fly, but they do. And I remember them talking about that with Watto. It's like... Theoretically, those little wings shouldn't be able to keep that amount of weight up. But it does, like a bumblebee. I think one of the reasons, I think in Star Wars lore, is his tummy's filled with helium. Or something like that.
Really?
Like he's gassy with helium or something like that. Oh
Wow.
my god. Why do I... Like, even if that's true or not, how does that thought occur in my head?
I don't know, because I know. Yeah, I don't even think about that. That's that's interesting. Have you read the Visionaries comic book?
No.
Yeah. So in that comic book, like when Darth Maul gets revived and he fights Obi-Wan, they show this one panel where he kind of goes through every place that Obi-Wan's been to find him, and there's this one shot of Watto cut in half by him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's pretty messed up.
Is that a canon story?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
Lucky. Well, I guess
I'd like to see Watto just show up again.
he's in Attack of the Clones.
He is, but I need more.
He's all washed up. Who do you reckon aged worse between films? Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi to the Last Jedi, or Watto, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones? Given
I'd say
Luke Skywalker had like 20, 30 years to get that much old, Watto in like 2 years was just busted.
got like a hat on at the next one, just
Got all
sitting down
these
on a chair.
Whiskers and...
Yeah. He didn't do too well.
One thing when I see Watto, which is a bit, I don't know, the nature of the beast, I think too much of, like, when he's outside, I think too much of, like, the grid green outline. Like, when they have the documentaries about, this is how we did this. Like,
Yeah.
they explain so much of that, you sort of, like, think of it. Like, especially the dewbacks in the special edition. I watched so many, like, special, like, documentary features on how they made those dewbacks. I just see the green lines. Now, you're at work, Corey.
Yeah. Yep.
You're working in the crock shop, right?
Okay.
And this girl, couple years older than you, come in.
Right.
She's really nice. She's beautiful. You adore her.
Yeah.
You want to ask her out.
Right.
Do you consider you an angel?
I mean, it's not awful. Out of all the things you could say, that's definitely not the worst. Anakin tried to bust out the moves, as this little kid. So I give him that. Would I do that? I don't think so. but good for Anakin for trying. It worked out for him, and then it didn't. But So what do you think about this scene?
That creature that owns the stall is one of the worst creatures in Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. I hated the figure, and every time I see him on trading cards, it just annoys me.
He looks like he's out of Galaxy Quest or just some real low budget. Or HR Puffin stuff, which is, that's what he looks like. You wouldn't know that. It's like this crazy puppet show from the 70s. And he looks like a character from that, which is not a compliment for realness.
Yeah, I never liked him. I'm glad they never used him again.
What, you expected him to come back?
You never know, right? Just come on. Well, using the same creature over and over again.
Padme, they're in Attack of the Clones. Padme's a bit hungry, and so they go down to get one of those things, and they pay for
From
it this
him.
time.
So this is where.
Sorry, I have to take that back about. I have to take that back about Watto.
Okay.
People are probably getting really upset. The gap between it's 10 years. I was thinking of the
Still
gap.
though.
I was thinking about the gap between like a normal Star Wars movie. I'm sorry, Watto.
Oh,
I take
okay.
it back to 10 years. Tatooine Sun. We knew what it did.
I get- yeah.
Yeah, it ruined Obi-Wan. We saw what happened to him in 20. So take it all back, Watto. Luke Skywalker
All right.
has by far the
Yeah.
worst ager in Star Wars history. Sorry.
So Quinlan Voss was in that shot too. In the
Sal Perales.
Yep.
Storm's coming
Yes.
up, honey. You better get
Oh yeah, she passed away not so long ago.
Do you have shelter?
We'll head back to our ship.
I had a theory
It's on the
Yeah.
that I wanted to add to Star Wars lore.
Okay.
I think, what was her name?
The one that was just sitting there.
Kira or Mira or something? The lady that's like,
Oh, I don't know.
Storm's coming, Annie.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I this is like good head canon, I think, is that's actually Shmi's mum.
All right.
And you know how she could tell that the storm was coming?
Through the Force.
Yeah, that's how she knew.
Interesting.
So that was like the Force did run through the family.
Huh. That's an interesting little headcanon there.
Hey, not bad, huh? Not bad.
No,
at all.
I like that. I like that.
Now, Maz Kanata is in Anakin's room. What's up with
Yes.
that?
Yeah, it's just.
That is one of the weirdest things. That's like for me seeing that, the Maz Kanata thing, and then when they
Yeah.
put a picture of Maz Kanata next to it, that's like Bigfoot. Like, it's just like, how does this occur? All right,
Right.
C-3PO is a naked guy. I didn't mind naked C-3PO, but one of... I'm fine with it. I'm not angry.
When the storm is
Mm-hmm.
over,
But one of the decisions...
I'm building a pod racer.
Listen, here's the deal.
Okay.
Right. Phantom Menace came out in 1999, right?
Yes.
In 1995, if you're at like some Comic-Con like nerd convention
Right.
and you're talking about Star Wars theories and what will happen and will Boba Fett be in the prequels and, you know, all that, what's the Clone Wars about? If you in that conversation said, oh, do you know what I reckon's going to happen? Darth Vader built C-3PO.
Yeah, that probably never would have.
Dude, you would have been beaten.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would have
Yeah.
been clubbed to death by an angry mob. So
Yeah.
that's
pretty insane.
it's so goofy, but again at this point I'm just like, well, that's the movie. Like, and I actually do like the C-3PO Anakin Skywalker interaction.
Yeah. I like how it passed on from Anakin to Padme, so you have that connection there between the two of them.
Actually, I'm having a realization, Corey.
Yeah.
If you did watch it without any knowledge of the films and you watched episode 1 through to 8,
Yeah.
the C-3PO thing wouldn't even jolt you because that's what you're introduced to. And it's like, of
Right,
course
it
that
wouldn't be a
droid
shock
stayed
at
with
all.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with R2. There wouldn't be any, revelation there.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I've just gotten rid of one of my biggest gripes in Star Wars.
Great. That's what it takes. The 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace.
Wow. God, we're really getting through some stuff here, Corey. I feel
Yes,
like I
we
should
are.
go lie on the couch. I tell you what, when we do the Attack of the Clones one in
Yeah.
3 years,
Yes.
I'm not getting over those C-3PO moments. I can tell you that much. They,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got insulted real bad once because people we were talking about what Star Wars characters we'd be, and a friend of mine was like, "You'd be C-3PO with the battle droid body." I'm like, "Really?
Has anybody ever
All right."
dude.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you punch Jason or not?
No, it was not Jason. Oh, it's funny. Nah, Jason compares me to Ezra.
It's so weird when
What makes you think that?
when Qui-Gon grabs
only Jedi
Jar Jar's
Jar
tongue.
Jar's tongue. Yeah.
Jake Lloyd, Anakin,
Yeah.
he doesn't sell it at all. Like his expression is motion, like it doesn't. There's no jolting.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It is what it is.
Because I guess you're a little kid.
Have you come to free us?
It'd be hard, and it'd be hard to like get him to act at the right, like the whole, just to get him to do his scenes and not stress him out and remember the
Right.
lines. Like when you watch that beginning documentary, it's just like you feel so stressed for him.
Oh yeah, 1000%. And that's the thing is, so many people give him crap, and I think he did fine.
Our ship was damaged.
Like I don't think he. I think he did what a kid could do.
I can help.
I
I can
think
fix anything.
he did everything he was told to do amazingly.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that he shouldn't have been told to do.
Sure.
Junk dealers must have a weak
Yeah.
Like it's not his delivery
Everything here
that,
revolves around betting.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's also,
Greed can be a powerful ally.
if it was like, this is how it is, and I love this movie,
There's big
but
races
in
and
retrospect, like like prior to it all happening,
What won't let you?
I would have thought you make him a bit older in the first one, so it's the same actor the whole way through.
I don't want
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
It's awful, I died.
Like,
I could see that.
you could do this,
But Mom, I
you could do this story, and he's 13. You could do
Right.
the story exactly the same.
Yeah. He doesn't have to be. What is he? 10 here? Right? 10? 9?
I think he's like 8 or something.
8? Wow.
Anyone friendly to the Republic who can help us?
Did you ever think that when they announced this that you'd see Anakin at 8 or Vader at 8?
I think when they announced it, they did say how old he was going to be.
That must have been kind of bizarre though, because it's like, well, how do you see that story progress without knowing what else was coming?
Yeah, I can't remember if they said then the next one would jump 10 years or that info. Maybe it was at the start they said that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I may not like it, Bud.
Because it seems like a hard thing to tackle.
He was
Yeah.
willing to help.
Like, I don't know. Maybe we just accept it. I don't know. I can't remember that.
Yeah, because I'd find that interesting, like getting that revelation and then being, like, how do you? Is he gonna be like 11 when he kills the Jedi?
Trusting our fate to avoid we hardly know.
Padme's been a real bummer here.
Queen doesn't need to know.
Mm-hmm. This was the line where Qui-Gon just kind of shows where he is with everything.
I love the Queen doesn't need to know or not line.
Yeah.
And then he just like gives her a double look. So that's why I'm just like, does he know or not? That hologram of the Nubian starship, the royal starship, Qui-Gon's holding it out to show Watto.
Yeah.
That's a dope effect.
It is very cool. Yeah.
You know
That's
there-
probably one of the coolest holograms.
There was a Hasbro figure of that effect.
Really?
It was like in a little pack. I don't know if it was a special thing you had to mail away for or not. But I do know I got mine from Toys R Us Australia. But it was sort of like,
Well, I have acquired a part in a game of chess.
it was in the Hasbro line, but it was sort of like
It's like a
blue hologram micro machine size.
really.
One of those, and it had and so I guess it was sort of a life size thing. You could hold it in your hand,
Sure.
the
That
little
is-
projector. But that's
sick.
I had all that stuff. I've got all that stuff back in Australia. There's a few things. The one I don't think I've got it anymore, so I have to buy it on eBay. But I need to get it. Hasbro did a little action pack for kids, like a little cosplay pack,
Yeah.
on a blister card that included a Jedi braid.
Oh yeah, like the accessory packs and stuff. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I got to get that
Yeah.
Jedi braid carded. I got to have that on my wall. That's a sweet
Yeah.
bit of action.
I feel like you should have no problem finding that.
In my head, they should be worth $400.
Right.
Like, because it's such a, like, just a funny, ironic Star Wars collectible.
Sure. So did you like purge your collection at some point, or?
Yeah.
Mm,
We could be stuck here a very
Attack of the Clones. I
That was it.
just sort of realized I'm not like opening these straight away, or they're not. I Marie Kondoed it. They weren't giving me joy.
yeah.
I was condo ahead of my time. But I think the final straw was when they brought out the Tatooine Luke with the hat.
Oh right.
And it just reminded me of like that Malibu Stacy episode of The Simpsons where it's like, he's got a new hat. Like, and everyone goes, I was like, I think I'm getting taken for a ride here. Because when Hasbro brought out the figures for the first time, again,
See things before they happen.
I just thought they'd bring out the ultimate version of every figure.
It's a jet
Right, and then that'd be it.
Yeah, I just thought they'd bring out, like, the best Luke Skywalker,
been born in the
and we're done. Because,
Sure.
like, in the vintage version, they didn't update figures.
Right. it was
Except for
one
the
and done.
droids.
Yeah.
But, like, they didn't bring
And
out...
even then, it was so minor.
Yeah, but, like, the Darth Vader had the telescoping lightsaber.
Yeah.
And
I carried him.
then, by Empire Strikes Back, the Luke Skywalker didn't have a telescoping lightsaber. He held one. But they didn't update the Darth Vader.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it was always the same.
you know, they could have just brought out a Darth Vader with a hand and he could have held a lightsaber.
Right. One with like a removable helmet, but now it's like
Yes.
always. Yeah. Oh no, Hasbro's all about making 30 million versions of each character. Like they just announced at Comic-Con that they're doing a 3-pack of, is it called the Definitive Luke Skywalkers? And it's like a Comic-Con exclusive for this year. It's like Stormtrooper Luke.
That said, I
Young
might
Luke.
get that.
It's definitely cool, but you know in 3 years they'll make another Definitive Luke Skywalker set. Be the same ones.
These kids are
Yeah.
all so cute.
Yeah.
I think that's Amanda Lucas.
Go and play ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, of course, the Greedo is Warwick Davis.
I always thought one of those little kids was the little girl from Full House. Like every single time I was like, oh, the girl from Full House.
You got it, dude.
Yeah. Yep. Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that always freaked me out because I don't want to get electrocuted.
Yeah.
I don't like that bit of Jar Jar action. I don't mind.
Yeah, it shows his what do you call his innocence, I guess.
The thing
With
that scares
everything.
me, he's so close to dying. Like,
He is right here in a brutal way too.
like having his hand jammed in that turbine. It's like, could you imagine if it went off? Oh, it's you just see R2D2 just splatter blood.
It
Get
goes
your
all over
hand
the-
out, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, get your hand out. Like, he's about to start it. Get your hand out. Yes. Thank you, Natalie Portman. Please.
It's like no one
Oh, my
like
God. Oh. Oh.
yeah.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah, this is we're about to enter a great moment here. Anakin starting up his pod racer. Natalie
Yeah.
Portman's smiling. Qui-Gon's relieved.
It's working.
Yeah, and then the music.
It's perfect.
And then Shmi going, knows what's up.
Yeah.
Like, she knows that he's going.
Yep.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah.
Love Shmi Skywalker.
Yep.
Now we enter this really sketchy thing where
He's taking blood.
this long-haired dude in a robe comes into town and
Yeah.
takes a young boy under the stars and extracts some blood. Like,
Yeah.
like that is,
I'd be concerned as a parent.
dude, I would destroy someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
like your son. That's like some dude's like, oh, like my doctor, our pediatrician, takes blood out of Harry, and I'm like, you, oh, Jackie has
And
to
then he
hold
calls
me back.
somebody. Then he calls somebody about it.
Oh,
So, like,
mate, got some blood.
Yep.
Check it out. I'm sending you a sample of the blood. Oh.
That's creepy. It's creepy on a lot of levels.
And it's not even like, he's not even talking to a mobile phone. He's talking into a Gillette razor.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I always found that weird that she just kind of looks at him. Yeah, I mean, of course, I'd be like, what are you doing? But I'd be like, hey, man, what's going on there?
Oh,
Here
Darth
we go.
Maul, the Sith
Yeah.
infiltrator
Sick.
with shades of TIE fighter wingage.
Mm-hmm.
That ship, when
I think it's very underrated.
but when it came out, Hasbro
Yeah.
did one, but it was one of those. Did they do one and you could only get one figure in the top of it or something?
Yeah.
Like super underscaled. But
Yeah,
that,
it wasn't big.
That is a sick ship.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. I like Maul's outfit here, where he's got the whole hood up and the robes, and he's got the binoculars and all that stuff. Did you get the Darth Maul from Celebration, the 20th anniversary one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's what the outfit's based on.
Yeah, it is. I got that, and I got actually I was very Darth Maul heavy. I got one of those Darth Maul teddy bears that has the spider legs.
Did you really?
Yeah,
That's
because it's like
awesome.
one of my least favorite things in Star Wars.
To put it on the weird shelf, right?
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I collect my work, like the C-3PO with the battle droid body. Like I'm all
Yeah.
about those collectibles.
So anything you're like, I don't like, I need.
Yeah, because
That's awesome.
then I'm taking ownership of it. I'm in control.
That's great, dude. You gotta do a video showing all of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes, do.
What do you think of Sebulba, huh? The bad boy in town.
Yeah, I always thought he was kind of funny. Just how cool he thinks he is, and he just casually walks by everybody, and he's just very ugly.
It's weird because when you think about it, you know, like George Lucas uses all these sort of archetypes to generate emotions
Yeah,
out of the audience, and that sort of bossy bully prick. Like I've never even thought about it, but like when I always hated Sebulba because he just reminded me of people
yeah.
when I was like
Classic
in
bully
school.
that just thinks he's all that. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wanted to see him die, but of course we didn't.
It's weird here. They're doing the dice toss with Watto, and what Qui-Gon's prepared to cheat at.
Yeah. Was Sebulba in Attack of the Clones? Was that him in the car?
No, I think it just was a Sebulba, a Doug.
Gotcha.
They a
Okay.
Doug? Yeah.
A Doug, yeah. Yeah. I don't like the Dougs at all. I don't like their design. I just don't like them.
Well, they're big bullies.
Yeah, I remember they did that Clone Wars episode 2-parter where they actually go on their planet. And I'm like, ugh.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like the Zelo Beast stuff, and they're all part of that.
Ah.
Yeah.
So wizard, and I'm sure
And they're-
this
We
it.
just heard it. So wizard Annie.
Yeah, that's the line.
So good. So good.
So did everybody use that line after the movie, or was that something recent?
No, I don't think anyone did, but I feel like they were trying to get it going and it just didn't
Yeah.
catch. It just didn't
So
catch.
wizard.
So wizard. It's a 6A.
Yeah.
I type it a fair bit, but I can never say it. Like on Twitter, I'll there's a podcast that I listened to today, the Sky Talkers one. They had blast points on, and they were talking about Phantom Menace, and I retweeted it with "So Wizard." So but I could never say it. Like,
Yeah.
like if you told me something, I could never go, "That's so wizard, man."
Right.
It just
Yeah, I don't think that's something I have in my vocabulary right now.
wouldn't flow. Wouldn't flow.
No. No. Oh, there's Ben Quadraneros. I like him. I don't know why.
The whole pod race, like the setup and stuff, it is like you forget how crazy it is visually. Like
Yeah.
it's in this giant stadium, and you've got this like wizard wearing goggles with feet for legs, cheering in
fake,
front of
though.
like how many people you reckon they get down at this Bunta Eve Classic?
Couple thousand.
Couple of thousand.
Probably 10,000. It's like the arena.
Dude, I was going to say
Chicago.
like 80,000.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, you
It's
think about the
possible.
stadium and like how many people they fit into a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, true. I guess that would make sense. Yeah. I actually don't like the pod race.
Oh, really?
No.
This version of it is very long.
They lose me. They've already lost me, but it hasn't even started yet, but
Were you always that way?
yeah, I never liked it. I just remember it always like as like the midway point. I'm like, what is this movie gonna end with it being over? Like I
Because-
didn't know.
Like when you were young, this is what the pod race was made for you, Corey. Young Corey.
I know it's interesting, right? But
All right,
that's unnecessary.
is that an
Yeah.
Aope?
Yeah, farting.
Yeah. No buys. No buys.
No, and that's what I don't understand. Like when Lucas was writing this, right?
Mhm.
He had to write the cow-looking thing farts in Jar Jar's face. Like, wow.
No, what about so George Lucas? He writes it like on a notepad, right?
Yeah.
On the yellow pad. Then what about the assistant that has to type it into the
Exactly.
computer?
Exactly. The people that have to like visually see all that and be like, no one did no one call him on that? Be like, what?
Where's the documentary like with all the green wireframe CGI things with the guy that had to animate or the girl that had to animate the Iope farting? Like, where's that little documentary on the Phantom Menace DVD?
I love that reaction. I would
Oh
love
my
to see that.
god!
Yeah.
So even when you were little, you weren't into the pod race.
No. No, it was too much. It was too. That's too long.
I remember being in the cinema and when they're going through the tunnels and stuff, just like, whoa, this is full on. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if maybe because they had a lot of similar stuff in movies like prior to me seeing it, so it was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
it wasn't as crazy.
because at the time, it was just so, groundbreaking and new.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, like this is, like, it felt like Star Tours.
Yeah,
Like, it was just that,
right. Was Jabba a big applause?
I can't remember. The Jar Jar cameo, I didn't like that he was asleep.
Oh yeah, he ends up falling
Like,
asleep.
because
and all
he's
that, yeah.
younger. Do you know what I mean? So shouldn't he be like
Weird regression
spry
there.
and just like, hey, like you should be like sucking back Red Bulls.
Yeah, we got the Bib Fortuna cameo from.
I hate Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, the
Can't
Matthew
stand
Wood
him.
one.
That how he like tries to cockblock Luke Skywalker getting into the palace.
Yeah,
Nah, no buys. You're a dick. I can't stand his nails and his.
yeah, everything about him.
Oh,
See, like we're already like 25 minutes into the pod race, and like
they haven't started yet.
no.
So for everyone listening, they're about to fire up their engines. We just had that classic shot of Anakin with his goggles down, revving the that was used on a lot of Pepsi merchandise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
That I remember. Like
I
at an
love
early age.
KFC, right?
Yeah.
And because the toys, I was like so good. Each week, I have to go buy a 2-piece feed, as they were called in Australia, because I have to get the
Okay.
new toy.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Great time.
Yeah. The hype, I mean, around it must have been incredible. You know, they're for Rise of Skywalker, they're doing Happy Meals. They're bringing that back.
At McDonald's.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So, you've seen that.
I hope the toys are good. I'm very picky about the toys.
Yeah. I mean, the KFC and Taco Bell ones, those were quality items. I have some of them.
The best
Yeah.
ones ever.
Yeah. Agreed.
No. You don't agree because I'm about to contradict.
Okay. Oh.
They were about 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
They were Burger King. And they did the whole saga, 6 movies.
Oh, the Revenge of the Sith stuff. Yeah.
And there was soft toys, and then there was like hard toys, and there was vehicles.
Yeah.
And
Right.
oh, so good. I love. They're my favorites.
I did like the Clone Wars ones that came out in the movie.
Are you talking about the ones where it was like a ship with a giant head stuck on top?
I like the animated ones. The movie ones I didn't care for.
Ah.
But yeah, I like the animated ones.
The Star Destroyer with just like a clone head stuck on top.
Yeah.
No buys, no good.
A little weird.
All right, so we're in the pod race. It's very exciting. We're about to
Thrilling.
head out to well, I can't remember what this was called. It was like the Needle.
Really?
There was
Is that what?
in this really early Star Wars video game Rebel Assault, you had to fly Luke's T-16, was it? The ship he's got the little toy of.
Okay, yeah.
And you had to fly it through this needle thing, and I'm pretty sure in this they fly through it as some sort of Tatooine Tusken Raiders. That got a big cheer in the cinema.
Oh, I bet.
The Tusken Raiders shooting.
Yeah. Dude. I remember growing up, there was one of my dad's friends loved NASCAR. And I remember I watched NASCAR once, and I was like, so not entertained. Because I was like, what's the point of watching cars go round and round and round? If I'm not in it, experiencing it, like, why do I care?
That's like me with cooking shows.
Oh, that too.
If I don't get to eat it, then like, what's
the point?
why do I want to get hungry for an hour?
See, he just went through what Jar Jar was about to go through, except he survived. Oh, there's the green R2. No, that's not. Whoa, oh, that's R2.
I like it that guy Kit's to ride. They just showed him. His best friend is in this like life or death race.
Yeah.
And he's not even watching it. He's just staring at like R2-D2 then. That
yeah.
was...
Oh god, here's this dude. Yeah. Was this pod race scene this long in the theater?
No, they made it longer for the Blu-ray. There's like an extra lap. And I think then we just saw an edit. I think R2-D2 just beat and C-3PO just said, what? There's 2 more laps. Which,
yeah.
Too many laps. Just one lap.
Did you buy the pod racers and the pilots? And
oh,
everything?
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff. I bought everything. Like,
that's what, yeah.
Anything Hasbro, 3 3/4. Oh, no. Probably anything Hasbro I bought.
Okay.
Like, there was 12-inch dolls. It felt like it was your duty to buy it.
Yeah. Gotta support.
Like there was like the Darth Maul money box that like jiggled around, and then you put the Qui-Gon and the Obi-Wan, you clicked them together. You felt like an obligation to the franchise to buy all this stuff. It was so, after being starved for it for so long.
Right, and you get it all in one.
And then also to go through your childhood, like, because I was so young, I didn't really get to appreciate it all. So then to like have it where it's like, I get to buy it all on the first day. I can, like, I've got money to do this and like money to waste. And, you know, not waste, but disposable income. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just like, yeah, I'm getting everything. It always annoyed me when mid-pod race, how Anakin magnetizes the cord to come back onto the pod racer to make it go again.
Yeah.
I always thought he should have unknowingly used the Force to grab it again.
Oh, that would have been really cool.
And it would be just a little, and he could be like not even aware that he did it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, do you know where they say he sees things before they happen and all that? That would have been a cool example of that right there. I love how they got, like, this, it's so much of an awful race that they've got people literally shooting at them. And it's just, it's brutal.
It is pretty redneck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like at the NASCAR, they don't have like dudes at one end with like
no, they survive.
It would do wonders for the ratings though.
It would.
Dude, you'd have to like.
Who lives, who dies in this race?
I wish I could remember what that needle thing was called. It was Beggar's Canyon, and I felt like there was like, I can't remember what it was. Nah.
Well, I'm wondering if it was the needle, did Solo drop like an Easter egg when Han says his friend Needles like did this one move?
No, that's a callback to Needles was a guy in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Now, we're mid-pod race and Anakin gets shot into like, how high in the air does he go? Like,
right, he doesn't like jump out or flip out of it.
Like, how high do these pod races? How high can they come up? all the shots of the aliens cheering, it looks so much like they're just filming 20 people and Rick McCullum's there yelling, "Everyone cheer."
Yeah.
But the cheering is so cartoony, overly done.
It's, yeah, and then of course you got some of the sort of weird, like 90s outfits, like, yeah. But, I like seeing that Nikto there a couple of minutes ago, kind of booing.
There was an Issue Tib. He was up in it.
Dude, I forgot about him. Yeah. Oh, see, what's that? The Volvo needs to crash.
Now, this is interesting. I don't know if you noticed, Corey, because we're sort of talking to each other, so it's sort of hard. But the pod race didn't have music till just then.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There was no music for the pod race?
For the first lap.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's true. Well, it's intense now.
Because when it kicks in, because when he's in danger, it adds to the tension.
It most certainly. This is probably the best part of it, I think. Where he's kind of freaking out. Yeah. See, I feel like Jake Lloyd sort of sold that he was not happy about it.
Well, he's pulling this grimaced face, but I've never like his acting during this never took me out of it.
No, yeah.
Like, not at all. Like, he's just sort of like, he's not speaking or anything, but good facials.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think what I did at 8 years old.
Like,
he
looks more realistic driving the pod racer, than Qui-Gon, Padme, and Shmi just did looking at the iPad. They look so fake.
They do. They're like, they don't even want to be there.
So Jake Lloyd is out acting an Oscar winner in this scene.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman's won an Oscar. She doesn't even look like she's like really. She looks like she's looking under the iPad, not actually at it.
I always thought it was I always thought it was weird that for half the race, Qui-Gon is like holding on to Padme's arm. I'm just like, are you gonna push her? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh,
yeah,
Sebulba.
Victor, but of course he lives. That scream.
What about in just here, right? Just then, in a new edit, another bit of metal comes and just like shivs him right through the skull. Like real Mortal Kombat, itchy and scratchy style.
Like you just see it clean off. Yeah. We'll do that when they put the 1 through 9 box set out.
All right, so now Anakin's won the race, and all these like very cliched aliens are partying in such an odd way.
Yeah, it's like they're there, but they're not.
And there's Willow. He's annoyed.
Yep.
See, why does Bib Fortuna have to wake up?
Yeah.
Do you know who Bib Fortuna is in that?
Yeah, Matthew Wood.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You know your Star Wars, Corey.
Only because I just watched the panel, or else I wouldn't have.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so
Damn it.
very proud of you.
Damn it.
Oh, man. The Greedo little guy, that's Warwick Davis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, I love this shot of the stadium with all the people, like, they're walking on the course.
Yeah.
Because in the football in Australia, they, afterwards, I don't know if they still do it, but you used to be able to, like, go on the field and kick the football.
Uh-huh.
So it actually looks very realistic to Australian football where as the crowd's dissipating, like, there's tons of people on the course.
Yeah.
It just brings back memories, Corey, which is what Star Wars is all about.
It is. It's all about reconnecting with your childhood and whatnot, and that's what they did for you, and Phantom Menace has succeeded. Ah, man, what do you think about the Yopis?
I can't stand them because of the farting.
Yeah. They're just ugly. Look at their little hair. It's like a cat that's skinned.
I just look at their ass. It's all I can focus on.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the next fart. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I wish. Yeah.
That Qui-Gon on Eope, that was a very hard figure to get.
Was it?
Yeah, it was because it was right at the end of the line, and not all countries got it.
Oh.
And I remember it was like maybe like $150 at one time, like during
Wow, damn.
Phantom Menace fever.
Yeah. 150.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, so I never understood why Qui-Gon couldn't just take her with him.
Oh, because apparently they've got explosives inside them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's diabolical.
which was like back then. It was something like that people theorized that that Anakin would go back and free the slaves, or that the explosive would play into it somehow, or he'd take it out in a scene, but
But I want to go. It's what I've
doesn't
always
exist.
dreamed of doing.
So like Anakin had to get it removed, or he just always had it with him, you think?
Yeah, or removed or deactivated or something.
What if it like deactivated in him and it messed him up mentally? And that's why he is the way he is.
Don't try to make excuses, Corey.
Like in the Clone Wars episode, that one clone, he goes off and kills the Jedi.
Oh
his
my
chip.
god. Yeah.
Like, maybe I should start defending Anakin. I'm sure that'll go well on Twitter.
And now it hits a little Anakin.
Yeah. He's a brave kid for leaving his mom at 8.
It's so weird. Harrison has got like white blonde hair and not much of it. And he's got this little button nose.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's going to grow into Jake Lloyd at 8 years old. Like he's got blue eyes.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Jake Lloyd.
Hey man, maybe that's the prophecy for you. Little Anakin Skywalker. And he grows up to look like Hayden Christensen.
It's pretty crazy. It's like an hour and 20 minutes and they're still on Tatooine.
Yeah, I'm surprised the pod race is over. Like, it's kind of mind blowing.
I feel like it didn't go for as long with us talking through it.
Yeah, I agree. Talking through it definitely helps. I think watching it, my mind will like totally go somewhere else. But no, this was good. Yeah.
Well, 3PO,
So,
I've been freed, and I'm going
yeah,
to
3PO staying with him or staying there is interesting. I guess
Yeah.
there's no point in bringing him really.
I'm sorry I wasn't able
Well, why
to
would you
finish
bring him?
it, 3PO. Give you coverings and
Yeah, I like that shot
Gonna miss working.
where you see him looking at Anakin
Ah, yeah, through his eyes, yeah.
through his eyes.
I'll let
Yeah,
your mom doesn't
It's
first
pretty
person
weird.
point of view. It is. I don't think they've ever done shots like that in any of the other films other than that.
Oh no! What about in Revenge of the Sith when when the Darth Vader's mask comes on?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now this is one of the moments. This is one of the great Star Wars moments for me.
For sure.
Anakin saying bye to Shmi.
Yeah, you got that music in the background.
Oh my god!
Perfect.
It's gonna turn it up for a little.
Yes. Perfect.
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can I ever see you again?
That's so depressing.
And then the music. That's
Yeah.
what does you in.
Yes.
Sucks because it's like, oh yeah, the next time he sees her, it's gonna suck.
Like I couldn't imagine Harrison at age 8 saying goodbye to his mum.
Yeah.
Like,
And then her she's staying strong throughout all of it too. Like I'd be like, you're not taking my kid. Well, I guess she wants him to have a better life. So
yeah, but what a
Makes sense.
sacrifice!
yeah.
Like to not be around your son anymore.
You're also kind of sending your son out to war, technically.
Well, she hasn't. There's no war yet.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's just got like a sweet scholarship.
Yeah.
But the way the music swells and that shot of her like hugging herself, oh my god,
Perfect.
that was great. It reminds me, I have to do this thing for Star Wars Explained. They want me to talk about my favorite moment, and I'm going to go with that one. It reminded me of the first time I rode my bike to school,
Uh huh.
and Like, Mum watched me for the whole street. I was in primary school.
Okay.
And then I got to the end of the street and I just got real scared.
Yeah.
And I just did a circle on the street, like to look back at her. And
Yeah.
I kept going and I was like, I remember I had tears in my eyes. For some reason, I was so scared to go.
Dang.
But so it always reminds me of this. But now we've got
Yeah.
Darth Maul. I've got to man up. Darth Maul fighting Qui-Gon. This is what it's about. It's not about
One lightsaber
sad
out.
stories when you're a little kid. It's about lightsaber fights.
This is a very underrated battle too, I think. Because I just like how Maul's just doing the one saber and on Tatooine.
Yeah, he's saving it for later.
It's crazy to imagine that the next time Maul's on Tatooine, it's a 3-second fight.
Hey, yeah.
But yeah, that's. So what, the Sith have been extinct for a long time at this point, so it's a big shocker.
I always love the Qui-Gon slump as the scene starts.
Yeah.
Like, it's so ragingly fake.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't buy that he just jumped up. It was just like, they went, all right, action, fall. Like,
Yeah.
you can almost hear the direction. And now
We
we've
should
got-
put that in edit. You just hear the clapping board.
Yes. Anakin Skywalker, meet
Obi-Wan.
Ben Kenobi. A great
Yeah.
moment in the trailer. A great moment in the trailer.
Yes. How do you feel about it in the movie?
I love it.
Yeah.
But I remember in the trailer when that happened, you were just like, "Oh my god, they met!" Like
Right.
it was so fan servicey, but like you didn't even know about fan service then.
Right.
Like it wasn't like it's fan service is such a cynical concept. Like because like back then it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna give me what I want.
Right.
That's why I'm going to the film. Like,
yeah. Look at those feet. I never really look at Jar Jar's feet.
they're disgusting.
Yeah. Look at like a mutated Ninja Turtle. That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, so there's little Bibble with his typical depressing attitude.
Well, he's
I mean, I guess it is
his
depressing.
planet has
times.
been captured. Like, that's the thing. He's a bummer, but he's generally right most of the time, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing with Anakin and Padme at this age always weirded me out. This guy, it's because I was like, man, Padme, like, how old? She's supposed to be 14, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's like 6 years, I guess. That's not that weird. I mean, at this point, it's weird, but in Attack of the Clones, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's like it's weird when you meet this young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like later
Yeah.
in life. But when you like set that, you know, one of them's a kid, one of them's a teenager.
Right. Like, I met you when you were a toddler.
Yeah,
You
like
met
it's
me
just
when I
like
was a teen.
just based on that alone. It's like it's sorry, bad luck, but that rules you out. If you
Yeah.
had that later on, it'd be fine. Society would smile upon it. But it's weird that George Lucas based both trilogies around very questionable. Like you had like the brother sister thing in the original
Right.
trilogy. That and then you've got this 8-year-old to 14-year-old. It's like
Yeah.
he's really testing the waters
Little-
in relationships.
It's a little strange. He's changing it up a bit.
All right, so we're entering Coruscant now in the Royal
yes.
Starship,
Yeah.
and getting to see Coruscant, as Rick Ollie points out, the entire city, the entire planet's a city. Very
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
But after because we got a glimpse of this in Star Wars Special Edition, in Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi Special Edition. You
Yeah.
know, during the celebration, they show a tiny glimpse of Coruscant. It was the first time you ever saw it. It got talked about in Timothy Zahn's books heaps. He named it. But to get that first glimpse of this city that you'd read about in books was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Pretty mind blowing, I'd bet.
Oh yeah.
I think Coruscant's probably my favorite planet. I just love the way they designed it and the idea that it's like a modern city. I thought was always very cool. Did you know that Palpatine was Sidious at this point?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Wasn't there theories that he was like a clone and stuff?
Yeah, but that was sort of like pretty tinfoil hat at the time.
Oh, okay.
Like that's sort of like,
There is a question of procedure.
you know, like Snoke is Palpatine, like, you know, reborn or whatever. And as if Palpatine would ever come back. Like that's silly.
Yeah, why would that happen? I like how Anakin could hear them from all the way over there. Like that, if anything bothers me about the movie, that's the one part. I always see that. I'm like, how did you hear that? Like you're in a city outside. It's probably windy. There's cars going on. How did you hear that? Jar Jar's line here. Pretty hot too.
Oh my god.
That's not creepy.
It's so weird seeing Chancellor Valorum, because I just think he's like Terrence Stamp is Zod in Superman 2 and Superman 1. So it's just like, don't you guys know? Like, he's the bad man of Krypton.
Right. The Red Room. Is this the same room that we see in Revenge of the Sith and everything?
I don't
It doesn't
think
seem
so.
like it. No.
No, because this is Palpatine's quarters.
Right.
And so I imagine by Revenge of the Sith, he's in a better quarters.
Yeah.
So this is back to Natalie Portman.
Didn't they make like every Queen Amidala figure when the movie came out?
If I may say so, Your Majesty, the
Like every outfit in like 12-inch doll line or something.
Oh, they made a fair few. They made a fair
Yeah.
few.
of corruption, the bureaucrats are in charge
I
now.
do remember that.
Options have we?
Our best choice would be to push for the
Jar Jar in the background.
stronger supreme.
Like, could they not like see the Queen's face and sort of maybe think maybe it looks a little bit like Padme? Like, I mean,
No, but that is Padme.
right?
He's been our strongest supporter.
Like, I'd look at her and I'd be like, yeah, you get some makeup on.
Submit a plea to the court.
The court's taking longer to decide things than the Senate. Our people are dying, Senator.
I think that's a
Yeah.
deleted
We
scene.
must do something quickly.
Is
for
it?
the Federation.
To be realistic, Your Majesty.
Like, how long do you have to like go in that outfit, switch on and switch off so quick? Like, I feel like that's gonna take a number of showers just to get all that off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Very elaborate. Very elaborate.
yeah. What do I know? Oh, here we
Well,
go.
they say in, like she had to do all this hours in makeup.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how she'd have to do it in the Star Wars universe as well. Unless they've got like some makeup gun,
Right.
like that, like Homer Simpson tried to invent, and it just like,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, so this scene must have been mind blowing. It must have been crazy to see all these Jedi.
Oh my god. Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Of course, now this is a new Yoda. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
the Boggle
puppet
Yoda.
one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love Yaddle just sitting there. I like Yaddle, what? It's just the weirdest inclusion. Yarrow Poof back there. Moving his neck.
Located around
I
cells of the highest concentration.
sometimes stuff comes out that I wish I was still collecting, and when they did that Jedi Council set where you get three,
Oh, that was cool.
and you
Yeah.
click them all together, it would make a circle.
Yeah.
That's a good toy. That's a
That
good
is
toy.
very good. Yeah. Like, why does Euro Poof's neck keep moving? See that? It keeps going.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I want to see him eat. Like, can you watch
Yeah.
it?
Can. Yeah, I don't know. He has to have a particular diet for that neck.
Do you think Yaddle Proof with his long neck does like his party trick is like he'll swallow like a Mickey Mouse head, so like the Disney logo's in the middle of his head? Or...
I think he's the type who could like swallow a sword. And could do
Oh.
it pretty easily.
I can't. That is the worst trick.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It just makes me dry reach.
Yep. Right. But Padme really is there.
I'll send Padme
like-
on an errand.
What's that accent?
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
This is so unrealistic. Because in the background, there's like a statue of a naked girl.
Yeah.
How does like an 8-year-old kid not just be staring at that? Like,
I think because his chip got malfunctioned, so it's like he's mentally not there.
all right, here we go.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Bit of politics. Now,
Yeah.
Corey, well, I posted this video this week of George Lucas talking about how Star Wars is for children, and some people don't accept that and they want it to be like the Terminator and stuff.
Right.
And it got, I think the video got like 20,000 views. Good views, buddy.
That's yes, you got the views.
But what some people argued was like, oh, trade negotiations and tariffs, like that's not for kids.
Yeah.
But I would argue that, like, it's a council meeting, but in a giant chamber with like 1,000 aliens on floating discs.
Yeah, and I'll also say that there is legal stuff involved even in like Marvel movies. Like Civil War was very based off of a political agenda, and kids can still watch that.
Yeah, but like when like Tarkin in Star Wars said the Imperial Senate's been disbanded or whatever. Like
Yeah.
like when I was a kid, I had no idea what they were talking about, but it sounded legit.
Right. Yeah, you just knew it was something that made sense.
But yeah, like it was sort of like a bit adult for me, so I was like, oh, that checks out then.
Yeah.
Like, because that sounds really mature.
I will say that this is a little extended for what it needs to be, but I also think that it's like 2 minutes. It's a little more entertaining than the pod race for me. And there's the ETs in here, right? Is this the movie the ETs are in?
Yeah, I don't think the ETs are in this scene though.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the ETs are in the scene when they actually vote.
Gotcha. That's
Oh no,
always...
maybe it is this scene actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Look at him.
Yeah, he just...
See, this is the thing about the prequel trilogy. The whole plot of how Palpatine rose to power is so good.
It is.
There's the ETs. There you go, buddy.
Yep. Awesome.
Like, the fact that George Lucas came up with Palpatine's plot, or Sidious's plot, like, it's, like, in universe the plot's good, and then from a writing perspective, I feel like the plot's good.
Genius. Yeah. It's... I love the calculatingness of Sidious throughout it. So, I like that Obi-Wan's kind of telling Qui-Gon off here. He's like, look, man, there's reasons you're not on this council and all that.
Oh, no,
because
he doesn't want to be on the council. He just wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
How good's Coruscant at sunset?
Oh, that's awesome.
So I have read theories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of theories about the visual artistry of the prequels. And sometimes I don't know whether it's like intended or it's people, you know, adding their own depth to it. But it's sun setting. So darkness is about to come in. This is signifying the darkness of the dark side in Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, I like that. I
Deep.
like that. That's very deep.
See how the sun's setting?
Yes. All right. Look at all these theories you got today. Like, it's all solid. I need to come up with something.
That Yoda quote of fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
Yeah.
It just boggles my mind that people that are so against the Last Jedi or whatever, that love the prequels, that's like one of the most famous quotes from the prequels.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't resonate with them at all. Like,
Yep.
it's
I love that quote.
it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's one of the trailer quotes, so it's quite iconic.
Right. It makes sense.
See, this scene with Jar Jar and the Queen, It's great.
Yeah, it's he's not going crazy. He's actually having a basic conversation.
That's one. I'd say that's his best scene.
Yeah,
Like,
I would agree.
I'm surprised.
and then that sets the rest of the movie in motion. Like that's like him saying that Gungans won't go down with fight, and we've got a mighty army.
That's a defining.
That lodges in
Defining
a
line.
that lodges.
Yeah.
I feel
So-
confident our situation will-
Wasn't Panaka supposed to go on to doing the rest of the films
I will be
or something? But they said I forget what the reasoning was, but he's like he didn't want to be killed off.
No, he wanted to read the script, and I think he wanted more money.
Your Majesty,
Oh, so they're like typho.
And then they got Jay Lagaya, who's New Zealand born,
Yeah,
I think. He's definitely Maori, so he's like families from New Zealand, and but he lives in Australia, and I used to always say he was my nemesis because he'd get to host all these really good Star Wars things.
yeah,
So like when Harrison Ford came out for this big interview at the Sydney Opera House, he got to interview him, and I was trying to get that job. So I've always been like, Jay Lagaya.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. You got a personal connection there.
Oh, he doesn't know I exist, but
Not yet. You know I can make things happen. I love Coruscant at night too.
see, it's nighttime now.
I see your yes.
It's not my theory. I just read it on the internet, buddy.
Oh, I buy into it.
I just read it on the internet.
It's like the one time the council's right about something.
Is the chosen one. You must see it.
It's like the question now is he really the chosen one? Because now we've got the Rise of Skywalker with Palpatine, assuming he's coming back. Like,
I always think I
I take Anakin as
I don't accept anyone else as the chosen one. I feel
Okay.
like that. I feel like that story's solved.
yeah,
Like he was prophesized to bring balance to the Force, but to do that he had to go bad. Like, do you know what I mean? The prophecy didn't say how he was going to do it. But by the
Right.
end of the Return of the Jedi, I feel like he brought balance to the Force. But then other stuff happens.
little more he can learn.
yeah,
Like the prophecy didn't say, and then after that, the Force is solved.
right.
There was
exactly.
balance for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then in Star Wars Episode 7, the Force awakened
Yeah,
after the balance.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Keeps coming.
Oh, and there's,
Whoa, Kiadi Moody looks kind of weird here.
man, that's Horst Burkhardt's favorite.
I know. Kiadi
See,
Mundi.
Mace Windu saying this is what we need to unravel the mystery of the Sith. It was such an intriguing line. What is the mystery
Right.
of the Sith?
Right.
Like we never even got it unraveled.
No. I don't think we barely know anything about the Sith,
Oh.
canon-wise.
How good's the starship look at night though?
Sick. I love the chrome shininess of it.
And do you know the silly additional information that apparently I'm saying it's silly because I don't like it. It's a bit too much for me. But the ship, a part of the ship melted down is Captain Phasma's armor.
Yeah, that's in the comics.
Not a
So
fan.
weird. Yeah,
I'm not allowed to train you.
it's a little dumb. I remember, well, in the comic, the Vader comic, I don't know if you read it, Palpatine presents it to Vader as like a gift.
Oh yeah, what a
Yeah.
dick gift.
And then Vader crushes it. He's just, yeah.
What a prick though.
Right? It's like, here's your dead wife's ship.
Oh my god.
I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to rally him up.
Orions are a microscopic life form.
Like, I'd throw him down a shaft too. Dude, like,
All right, so we've got Qui-Gon explaining midichlorians
And we are symbiotes.
to Anakin, and again, Jake Lloyd's doing a ripper job acting through this.
yeah.
He's just talking about the thing that so many fans hate, and so they take it out on him.
Right? I don't think I even thought what midi-chlorians were when I was seeing it. I was just like, okay.
Learn to quiet your mind.
Just accepted it.
Yeah, like, all right.
Yeah, well, having grown up with Star Wars a bit longer, it was quite jarring. It was like,
Yeah.
what?
Right.
Like, I always like the Force when it's not explained. I want, like even that, the Mortis arc.
Yeah.
Not a big fan, Corey.
Really?
We're gonna go back and we'll watch it. We'll do a rewatch, but
Yeah.
You I will not allow that to happen.
the first time people love it. Like, how much people love it makes me seem like I hate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I want all the Force stuff to be not seen. Like, I don't want to
Okay.
see where the Force ghosts go after they disappear.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see where Yoda and Anakin and Obi-Wan were hanging out.
Well, I guess that's a good like look at what real life is, right? You know, like you don't know, so
Exactly.
it's cool to mirror that.
Now, I love this Darth Sidious hologram that's on the little hologram spider. That's a dope move.
Yes, it is.
There was a figure of that, actually.
Yes, they've re-released them again a couple years back.
And those two control the pitch.
Look at this.
Oh, look at this Mary Sue.
Rick Ollie. More explanation.
As we land, the Federation will arrest you
Yeah.
and force you to sign the treaty. I agree.
That's a joke to the audience. I should emphasize that. I don't want to deal with that.
Well, I always, that whole Mary Sue thing,
And I can only
Yeah.
whatever, like,
Yeah.
you can make it so people think that or not. Like, you can say it's a thing or it's not. But I think that if you think Rey's a Mary Sue, like, Luke and Anakin, by definition, are as well.
Yeah. 1000%.
Definitely Luke.
Oh yeah,
Because
Luke takes the cake.
the whole definition of the original meaning of a Mary Sue was someone putting themselves into a story
Right.
and everyone likes them and all that. And it's like, it's Luke. And it's written by George Lucas. And his dad in the film's got this boring business that he wants him to stay in town to run. And George Lucas's dad ran a stationery store or something
Right.
and wanted him to run. Like, it's like, come on.
Yeah. So at this point in the movie, when you first saw it, where were you at with the movie? Did you love it?
I think I was pretty intrigued. I was pretty into it.
Yeah.
But this scene here with Qui-Gon and Anakin, or Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan sort of like resolving their differences,
He will become a great Jedi Knight.
that reeks of Qui-Gon dying.
Well, did you get spoiled on his death?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The CD, huh?
And also, there's she's now not a friend of mine, but an acquaintance.
Okay.
We're friendly when we see each other. But there's this celebrity reporter in Australia called Angela Bishop,
Okay.
and like she has been,
You know where they are, Jar Jar.
she just celebrated a big anniversary, maybe like 30 years or 40 years or something in interviewing show business people, Tom Cruise and all that, right? And when the Phantom Menace came out, she hosted a 1-hour special, like on a Saturday night, which they used to always do for Star Wars films. Like, they'd show the junket, like before
Yeah.
the YouTube junket, like they would show it on TV.
Right.
And it was her interviewing everyone and stuff. And she said to Liam Neeson, now we know Qui-Gon dies in the film, but might we see you around Australia to film the second one? And it aired on television before the film came out.
Whoa.
And so we've worked together on TV in Australia since. And we're on like this morning panel show, Studio 10, that I do stuff for.
Yeah.
And during the ad break, it was the first time we ever met, right? And she's there to give like the celebrity news. And during the ad break, I go to her, hey, so I'm a big Star Wars fan. And she just groans because she knows exactly what I'm
She
about to
knows.
say.
I am Queen
And
Amidala.
she's been so nice, and she like when I interviewed Harrison Ford, like she tweeted it out and said this is so cool, and like so she's the sweetest, but she always avoided coming on the podcast to talk about it. She just didn't like she said
Disagree, Your Honor.
it gets brought up to me like once a week. Like
That's awesome.
Australia has not forgiven.
Has destroyed all that we've worked so hard
So she didn't continue that trend with like Harrison Ford. Like, so when Han dies,
No. Well we didn't know then.
No, I beg you to.
Because they did it the other way around. But she did interview Harrison Ford. She did a good interview with her. But okay, so here's the reveal.
Yep.
Everyone kneeling.
Jar Jar figuring out how.
I noticed R2D2 does not budge.
He does not. No.
He's like, F you, Gungans.
Yeah. Doesn't retract the third leg or anything. He's
Yeah,
just
he
like-
could have like tipped down a little bit.
Or he could have just fallen over. Like they could pick him back up.
See, this bit I love, where you just like, they're all teaming up. Like it's such a visceral, like, yes, let's do this.
I have not noticed the 90s CGI until you mentioned it. Now I can't unsee it. This is...
And the noise of the Gungans remind me of the cheering of the Ewoks. So that fills me with like, you know, it's all poetry, it's all connected.
Yeah.
You know, Star Wars ring theory, all that good stuff.
Right.
It's too aggressive. Lord knows.
Oh, I love every time Sidious is on the hologram.
Let them make the first move.
Yes, my master.
Maul just barely talks. What did you think? Did you think Maul was gonna have like a bigger involvement?
I thought he'd be in it about that amount, but I was shocked that he died.
Gotcha.
Because I sort of thought, and I guess a lot of people thought, that he was going to Darth Vader his way through each film.
Right.
Like he would be the villain, you know, with the Emperor through each film. So, yeah, it was, yeah, because they didn't release like a split in half Darth Maul until later on.
Right. Yeah.
What is the situation?
Did you wish he was like the main villain throughout?
A few hundred police and guards to form an underground resistance movement.
I don't wish, it's just a curious concept.
Yeah.
Federation army is also much larger
Could be
than
interesting.
It would have made those Clone Wars episodes make a lot more sense.
This is a battle
It would. Then we wouldn't get crazy Maul.
Oh, actually, I changed my answer. Like on the film by its own, like I didn't mind that I thought it was cool the way he died and stuff.
Yeah.
But because I dislike him coming back from the dead so much in the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wish, like, if George Lucas wanted to keep using him, don't kill him.
Oh, so you didn't like his revival in Clone Wars?
No.
Okay.
Once he was back, I liked him. I just
Yeah.
didn't like the fact that he came back from the
The
dead.
concept of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right.
But like, if I just ignored that he died in the Phantom Menace,
yeah, it's easy to.
it's a sweet character. Like,
Right. He's so different from the movie too that it is a noticeable difference, anyways, in terms of the fact that he talks. So, and he's an actual character.
yeah. So I just have to jump that.
Yeah.
weapons on your fighters may not penetrate the shields.
Yeah.
I like
If the Viceroy escapes, Your Highness, he will return with
how George Lucas has sort of put together a Return of the Jedi scenario with like 3 different battles. Like you got space battle, lightsaber battle, ground battle, like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But he's sort of made the object of it all sort of opposite. That you've got to you got to get the Death Star, which, you know, the battle station, whatever that is, to turn off the droids on the ground. Like it's, I like that it's similar, but the concept of it's like all reversed. So,
Right.
well done, George Lucas.
1000%. Well, Maul looks so tiny there in that shot beforehand next to New Gunray. Like, he looks
Ray
short.
Park's not that tall.
No.
Now this is the opening scene with them
Of the
coming
trailer,
through the
right?
swamp of the trailer.
Yeah. That's a cool shot.
Such a cool shot. And this is just, I remember the first time seeing this of all the Gungans going across Naboo, just like, wow. Like
Yeah.
that's
is-
very good.
It is visually stunning. I remember people were when Infinity War came out, they're like, "This is the original Infinity War."
Yeah,
In
yeah.
terms of how it looks.
And now you see it on TV with Game of Thrones, like, but you got to remember the time and the place of seeing this, and every like this shield thing getting lit up, like that was a
Yeah.
surprise in the film, and you're like, oh my god, like how does it like?
How does it work? How
Yeah,
does
like
it-
you forget what you didn't know,
Right.
and like those with the tanks coming over the hill and those animals scurrying away, they look bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the way the tanks float.
I like the tanks. I like the other. What were the other ones called? Like AAPs or something? I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, MTTs.
I love the way, so the tanks now are firing on the force fields of the Gungans. And I
Yeah.
love the way when the tanks shoot, they bounce back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's
cool.
such a good effect.
Did you find a safe place to hide and stay there?
Sure.
I love this where Qui-Gon tells him to hide
In a starfighter.
in a starfighter. And I'm like, dude, what if they just blow up the starfighter? It's like, that's not a great place for him to really be. All the fuel and fumes around.
People might be smoking.
Yeah, I mean, he's drawing blood from him, taking it, like... I kind of think he wants him to die.
I thought the battle was going to take place far
He looks so careless during the pod race, like...
too close.
Kind of heads up.
Oh my god, I've never seen the Neimoidians in the background. Without
No,
hats
the-
on.
Annie, find cover.
Really?
Now, I think my most disliked thing of the films is Anakin and Jar Jar during this battle.
Yeah,
It's like them just not taking it seriously enough.
Right. Agreed.
What do you... Naboo Starfighter, pretty good.
I love it. I love the movie Starfighters, yeah.
I
love it
had,
as well.
for a long period of my life, a... like, one of those giant ones in my bedroom.
Oh, the ones that like at Toys R Us and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then there's the... we just had the Willem Scream by...
First one.
But yeah, I loved...
That was Anakin.
the way the Naboo Starfighters, like the cockpit came over, like the old sort of like, you know, like 40s sort of spaceship looking.
Yeah. It's an awesome design.
And it's hard to combat the X-Wing.
Right. But this definitely...
But it almost looks like an X-Wing going backwards in the silhouette.
Right. I think it is supposed to mirror it a little bit.
Ring theory.
Exactly. Yeah, I love those shields. Those are so cool.
I like the way the Trade Federation, the Battle Droid Army comes out is so OCD.
Uh-huh.
Like they've just got this real precise
This
way of like
perfect way
this
of
all
getting them
folds
out.
out. We're all crouched
Yeah.
up. We all get up at
Yeah.
the same time.
Have you seen the Hasbro toy?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Like they have I remember I had the Hasbro toy. It came out a couple years ago, and you could clip them all on, and they just all came out together.
How many did it hold?
20.
Oof.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Oh my god! Seeing those blue Gungan balls, that brings back memories. Because you could buy those the catapults.
Really?
Yeah, and that was the weapon.
Oh wow,
Oh my god. Oh,
that's cool.
the way they unfold in that, it's pretty sick.
It is sick. And it's all in unison too.
It looks like they're all doing yoga. But to their credit, it's all in unison, but not perfectly.
Right.
Like the heads come up at like just slightly different times.
Yeah.
I don't know how they build all this
How
programming
could
to
they
do
get
this.
through? How could they get through this? That's what I'm wondering.
Because I think it stops energy coming through, but not items.
Not. Oh, okay.
So like, because their blasters, it isn't anything; it's energy.
Right.
But then the metal doesn't get through.
Oh yeah. This is
No,
a
no,
joke.
it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But this does seem very
My guess is the Viceroy's in the throne room.
not a good, like tactically not that good. Just them just
No.
walking, just like da 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 da.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can stay where you are. You'll be safe there.
See, what do you mean stay where you are?
Cockpit.
But he didn't know it was going to take off. Or did he?
All right, that's my theory for this one. Qui-Gon's really the villain.
All right, this is magic.
Yeah.
We'll
It's,
handle this.
yep.
We'll take the long way.
Oh, we'll handle this.
We'll take the long way.
That's quite a Mace Windu line. We'll handle
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Take the robe off. And you got the droidicas going on there.
Now, imagine if they'd held back the double-length lightsaber until this scene. No advertising,
Oh,
no
dude.
merchandise.
Yeah, people would be freaking out, I bet.
This.
Yeah.
I remember
That was in
watching
the first
it
trailer, right?
Yeah, and just like, like, because you never even conceived of it.
It's just those toys, man. That'd be a seller.
And the week that it came out, or actually the weeks preceding, the any Darth Maul merchandise was super hard to get.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like the lightsaber, like the Hasbro lightsaber,
Yeah.
impossible. And it was just when like eBay was like becoming into
Sorry,
prominence.
man. Right.
So you'd hear stories of like they're selling on eBay for $2,000.
Wow.
They probably weren't, but
Yeah, but yeah. But I would imagine probably a couple hundred. I remember hearing that the figure was really hard to find too. There are like a bunch of versions of him.
They had a midnight release at Toys R Us, and so I think I might have driven half an hour by myself to go to Toys R Us at midnight, and I knew no one there.
Nice.
I got a few figures, but it was so full on because like you didn't know exactly what figures were coming out.
Right.
Like now you'd have your checklist and you would have looked at the pictures and stuff.
Sure.
But I remember just like going, oh my god, there was like,
Yeah, you didn't know.
yeah, it was full on.
This lightsaber fight, dude, it's one of the best. It's got the music and the tone of it and everything.
It is amazing. I just find the setting not realistic.
Oh, really?
Like I don't find the background tactile because it's so green screen.
Right.
Like in Cloud City when they're fighting, it seems like they're really there.
Right.
Or on the Death Star. This, it just doesn't have that like when they're fighting Return of the Jedi in the throne room, they're there.
Right.
But that to me just doesn't. It
Lot
just
of
seems like
CG.
they're in a green room with like sweet effects.
Right. That's what I love about the beginning documentary, that you get to see all that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
where they were, what they were doing. It sort of has taken me out of the movie. Like,
Yeah,
see,
right?
after seeing that documentary, yeah.
The yeah,
Yeah.
Jar Jar, like one of these mistakes to get through, that's fine. But he trips over and wins the day too many times.
I would have loved if he shot a Gungan on accident.
Oh. And I also wish there was John Knoll. just
John
getting
Knoll,
killed
yep.
as a pilot in the Naboo army.
That
Naboo.
really was like 26 frames, like you said.
Yeah. But I always wish that Anakin did all this on purpose.
Right.
Like it just kicked in this natural thing of like he knew how to blow it up.
Yeah. Because he can see things before they happen, so...
And he's like a mechanical wizard and stuff. So the whole
Right.
whoopsie, that was always just like, oh.
He has no fear. Nothing freaks him out. He's just in this thing like... Oh, dude.
See, that's a bad one.
It's just epic now with Kylo doing that trick. It's like,
Oh,
you
that's
go.
awesome. But him, they just leave it out.
yeah.
But, you know.
I love how the dude just shot the window like 50 times to get it to break.
As a bogan from Rosebud in Australia, a bogan's like a redneck.
Okay.
I appreciate the glass smashing. Like, just like, hell yeah. Shoot the glass. Loving it.
Yeah, I
The
do
hook
love
thing
how-
is so goofy. It's like
It is.
It's 1966 Batman.
It is.
Them zooming up.
They don't shoot them at all through the window.
But I love I like Padme's way of using the decoy to trick
Yeah.
what are they called again? Nemoidians.
Nemoidians, yeah. I've always loved like that outfit that Padme has on.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Look at that punch. I always found punching in Star Wars so weird. Like I remember when I watched Return of the Jedi for the first time, and Han punched the Scout Trooper. I'm like, what?
It's because the action figures don't look like they should punch each other.
Right?
But like, when I was little, there was He-Man figures as well,
Yeah.
and they're like designed to look like they're gonna punch.
Right.
But like, I remember being a little kid, and it did feel weird because of the rigid arms. Punching shouldn't be in Star Wars.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, especially the Scout Trooper.
God, there's some good moves in this.
Oh yeah. Come on, Obi-Wan, do the freaking flash run. Nope. Nope, won't do it this time.
I like this is a great concept for a scene with the force. Like who knows what these force fields do? You know, you can make up, and they have made up something that it's power surges or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's an epic scenario, like that Obi-Wan can see what's going on.
Right.
And see, this is classic George Lucas. End of Return of the Jedi. You know, the shield's up. They've been tricked. The Imperials have captured the rebels.
Yeah.
Everything seems like it's the worst thing ever. And this is the same. Sort of like everything is...
It seems like it's doomed and everything. Yeah.
We're going to get to our lowest low.
Ah, right. Jar Jar opening up the balls.
The other thing about the CGI wagons that the Gungans have is because they're CGI, they look so much like the Hasbro toys.
Yes.
Like the Hasbro toys of the Trade Federation tanks and all these Gungan, and even that what was it called? The Zomba or the Wampa or not the Wampa? That big wizard that holds the shield.
Oh, I don't know.
But the Hasbro toys are such good representations of them.
Oh, for sure.
Like
It's one
all
of
this,
some of the best.
all this late '90s CGI translated into plastic toys so well.
Yeah, I feel
Like
like they knew that was
Foomba,
gonna happen.
I think that big wizard.
Foomba. Yeah, Foomba. The Foomba.
They made an awesome toy of that.
And it was big, right?
It had no articulation, not
Right.
one point of articulation.
But it was massive.
But it was like an AT-AT-sized wizard that like a Gungan.
Yeah, dude, they went all out for the toys.
They didn't bring that out in Australia, and I had to import it.
Oh yeah, did you have to pay like a premium?
Oh yeah, but I didn't care, man, to get that. See, look, everyone's captured.
Everything's doomed.
It's the worst thing ever, man.
Yep. See, I love this end. This end stuff is perfect. Like it feels like a Star Wars movie. You know, it's great. I like that. It doesn't crash. And see, here's how the pod race comes into play. Oh, mission pilot. There it is.
See, that's when he should say, now this is pod racing.
Right?
Because it's like almost the exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Oops, this is not good.
I do like the stare down between Maul and Qui-Gon. Like, it's just fueling his anger seeing him just sit there.
The editing in these scenes is so good. Cutting.
Agreed. Yeah.
Speed run! Speed
I
run,
know.
Obi-Wan!
Like, where is it?
Dude, what's this normal run?
This is how he gets Qui-Gon out of the picture.
You didn't really want it.
No, he did not.
You think if he speedrunned fast enough, he'd just make it over the gap and just splat into the wall on the other side?
Or he just falls down in it. That would be it. Oh, that'd be great.
Even this scene that we're going to get to see at Obi-Wan's face, it's such a classic.
Yeah.
That, the scream.
Yep. It's perfect. Qui-Gon just slumps
I
back.
love how Darth Maul kills him, and before he's even fallen over, he's in a stance to take on the next person.
Right?
That's so
He's already
sick.
ready to go. Yep.
Yeah, Obi-Wan
Just-
is worked up.
And like, you gotta imagine that with him not talking, that just pisses them off even more. You know, tries to make him vulnerable.
Who would have thought, Corey?
Yeah.
Darth Maul,
Yeah.
19 years later after this film comes out, I would fight him on national television in Australia.
I know.
And
That's...
rip the crotch of my jeans.
You did?
Yes.
That's great.
There's this one shot and you can just see the jean go... grrr.
That is a wild freaking thing to think of. In 19 years, this is gonna happen to me with Darth Maul. Wow.
See, Keira Knightley, sweet distraction.
Uh-huh. That she's getting bullied. So messed up.
And then the secret guns.
Yep. And I like how they're both getting freaked out.
I love it how the Nemoidians, they have a grudge against Padme forever. They're
Yeah.
always just so up
They're
to
always
see her
after
go down.
her. Uh-huh.
Like in Attack of the Clones, when they're at the execution, they're so amped.
Yeah. They always got issues.
All right, here we go. I love how
This is-
Obi-Wan bounces.
And I love how they don't have strong music going on here, so you just get the tension. It's perfect.
So good. Even like the reflection of them on the ground. is epic.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite bit from the fight. For sure. I just keep going at it.
Man, this is the one time I can't even speak. It's like
Yeah, and it's mesmerizing.
it's so fun to watch.
What if you cut off like the Padawan braid?
And that was Darth Maul saying he was ready.
Yeah, right?
And this is where it all comes together, Corey. This is the genius of George Lucas.
Yep.
Because how Obi-Wan's hanging down there, that directly reflects to how Obi-Wan had the higher ground against Anakin. Because you can't win unless you have the higher ground.
Oh, full circle.
Oh my god. That was one of my... It was like, you got to set up that higher ground thing earlier in the films. Like...
Yeah.
And I wish that Anakin did that on purpose.
I always thought that... Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, blowing up the generator thing. Those Nemoidians that have the goggles on all the time, they make me feel sick. That seems like a horrible way to live.
Yeah.
I love that shot. That's from the trailer of
Maybe they're blind.
the battle droids getting caught up in the explosion.
Right? And I like how it, like, deactivates them from the ground and everything.
That's Rick Olay's up there as well.
Yep.
Oh, there he goes. This is
There it
okay.
is.
That isn't a good spot. I take it back.
Yeah,
I've come around. That's
It's
the
just
cool thing
'cause-
about doing this. I love the film even more now watching it. I'm more in... I've been impressed.
I've just heard now this is podcasting so much that I can't... Like, it's like... You know, I feel like that... Every time I hear the line, that's all I think of.
What are they doing? The control ship has been destroyed. Look!
That battle droid had the 1138 in his back. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Little Easter egg.
Cool.
I like the... I like this. I love the way they just all fall down and
they're still pushing them, like, as they're falling.
But I don't like that Jar Jar gave up. And then he's like hailed a hero at the end.
Right.
Like, they should just have made him a,
Executed him.
bit more of a stand-up guy.
Right.
He just shouldn't have given up.
I love this. Like, the blade, I think, ignites before he even touches the button.
I don't like that green lightsaber.
No?
Qui-Gon's hilt doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's not the best shade.
Oh my god, there's Darth Maul down.
Yep.
Oh my god, everyone that falls down shafts in Star Wars comes back. Did you know that?
Yeah, right?
No.
Alright, yeah. True enough.
Even like Boba Fett maybe come back.
Right.
Oh my god.
Makes sense now.
Does that mean Phasma's coming back?
Oh, you know it.
And here we go, Qui-Gon's Noble End. The song that spoiled
The song, yeah.
Star Wars for so many. What a goofy move.
Did you listen to it when it came out, like the soundtrack?
Yeah, I would have.
Gotcha.
The So how's this? The novel came out before the movie, like weeks.
Oh, did you read it?
I did not. I think I maybe read the first chapter or something.
Yeah.
But my friend Danny McGinley, this is the story that was told on the very first episode of Steele Wars.
Okay.
Danny McGinley is a very funny comedian in Australia. He finished reading the novel in the cinema, waiting for the film to come on.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
That is just like, why not just not find, like, why not just not read the last
That
chapter?
little bit for the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So close at that point.
Fake Mace Windu.
Fake Mace Windu, yes.
The best. Where is he? Where is he?
Here he comes.
So they couldn't get Samuel L. Jackson to come back to film this scene. So they've got the bizarrest. He looks like 20 years younger than him.
Yeah, he does.
Where is he? Did we miss him?
No, he's there he is.
Ah!
There he is.
It looks like Ahmed Best.
It kind of does. Is it?
I don't know, but everyone here looks so fake. Like
Yeah.
no one looks like. There's Ben Burt.
Everyone.
And there's
looks
Rick
so
McCallum.
Yeah.
Man, that's a heavy scene. There was like Rick McCallum, Anakin Skywalker, C.O. Bibble, and Coyote Mundi in the same scene. Love this scene of Yoda walking.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Qui-Gon believed in him.
Hugh Corshi, Captain Panaka,
Yeah.
he came and did a Star Wars convention in Melbourne about a month after the Phantom Menace came out.
I gave
Uh-huh.
Qui-Gon my
And
word. I will train Anakin.
he was a nice guy, but very taken aback by all the Star Wars hype, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I felt bad for him at Celebration because like he was at the booth right next to one of the other actors and like no one was going up to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt bad. Like we tried going up to him, but my friend had the ticket for the next day. They're like, you can't right now. We're like, okay.
Ah. Well, because he appeared at this convention, I've got a signed
Yeah.
Captain Panaka photo somewhere.
Nice. Oh yeah, I love this.
Dude, that's way too close
Yeah.
to a burning body.
Dude, it's gotta stink. Like, unless they got some crazy like air perfume and stuff. Ugh, I no.
What will happen to me now?
Council have granted me permission to train you. You will be a Jedi. I promise.
It's pretty messed up taking eight. So throughout this movie, they put this 8-year-old kid in danger, took away, him from his mom, and let him watch a burning body. Like, of course he's gonna kill people.
Always true there are. No
Oh, I love that line.
no less. A master.
That was a big revelation.
Yeah, that must have been huge.
The master or the apprentice.
Right.
And then you get down to that whole thing of like, I've got to wait 3 years for the next one.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's so funny, this music, 'cause you hear it in so many podcasts.
Yeah, this was, that Star Wars Weekends event they had in Florida.
They'd always play this.
Oh, dude, nonstop.
Dude,
And I don't,
crowd,
I'm,
the crowd is going off.
yeah. We're very excited here. It's got this big ball.
The ball of hope or peace, and
Yeah,
he's got his new haircut now. Sweet braid.
yeah, looking cool.
That dude looks like Anakin Skywalker with the hair. Looks like he's ready to smash some windows.
Dan
There's-
Matson.
Yeah, from the Lucasfilm fan club.
Yep. Oh, there's that real Mace Windu. Would have been hilarious if it wasn't for that shot.
What's that other Yoda? What's his called?
Oh, Evan Peel.
Even Peel, yeah. Is he a
Yeah.
Yoda or he's something else? Isn't he?
No, he's something else.
Yeah. And then this is some good Star Wars ring theory
Yeah.
with the mirroring of the A New Hope ceremony. So,
Right. They're all in unity now.
with that Famba, what a
It's
toy!
so big.
I use that GIF all the time of Anakin Skywalker doing a little smirk.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite GIFs.
I have noticed that.
And we out.
There we go.
Alrighty, man, that was good fun.
That was good fun. That was quite the movie. It's.
What?
I feel like it's aged very gracefully. It's not. It like has stood the test of time.
Yeah, I'm less judgmental now,
Yeah.
but especially like I didn't really get to focus in on it because we're talking the whole time.
Yeah.
But I had a ball watching it.
I agree. I think maybe it's because we were talking. Hopefully that's not the case and it's actually good. But I think.
Yeah, I just think you sort of like that's what I learned is like there's like most of it's awesome, but
Yeah.
you just focus on those things and you're like, nah.
Right.
Like, and it's that thing of like it happening so far after the original ones. Like your idea of what the next one, it had 17 years or how long it
Yeah.
was to crisp.
Right.
But Corey, that was
Yes.
so good. Do you have any final Phantom Menace thoughts?
My only complaint about the movie is that the pod race is very long, and that I forget what the other complaint I gave was. It was very stupid, very minor. It really was stupid. I don't remember, so that's how stupid it was. But yeah, I mean, all in all, Star Wars is better watching it with friends. So that's my final thoughts.
Yeah, I think that the negatives were far too focused on.
Yes.
And just because it had so much pressure on it and stuff, and then it snowballed. But yeah, a lot of fun. The Phantom Menace, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. Corey, do some plugs. Where can the good people of the internet track you down?
Yeah, you can follow me on First Order Transmissions on YouTube, Twitter at First Order Pod, or at Corey_Wolfpack. Go on YouTube. That's where I get the views. So please do that. I plug the views nonstop here.
All the views. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you want my sweet Darth Maul inspired Chicago sports reference t-shirt, they're available at merchostore.com. There'll be a link downstairs in the comments or the show notes. And if you're listening to the podcast, spread the good word. Actually, either way, give it the like and the subscribe and the retweet, and let people know you had a good time watching it with us. You know what I'm saying?
Please do.
And I'm going to wrap it up there, Corey. We're not going to talk through the credits, but it was a joy to watch a Star Wars movie with you.
Absolutely, dude.
And we must do it again sometime. And thanks to everyone listening. Happy 20th birthday, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about the birthday.
And may that force be with you. Make sure you check out our one-on-one interviews with the cast and crew of The Rise of Skywalker. Also on YouTube in full is our late-night comedy Star Wars chat show recorded live in Chicago. Chock full with Star Wars insight and laughs. And if you're into audio podcasts, check out our blog pods from Star Wars Celebration that give you a fan's eye view of everything that went down in Chicago. And may that force be with you.